Hello. I think I'm alive. Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay. So it is 7:02. What I'm going to do is go into the group through my phone and see if there has been any questions posted. Let's see. Okay. I have people asking to get into the group, so hang on for just a second. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we'll just hang on and see who shows up. Yes, I would like to join. Okay. There you go, Tammy. Was Tammy the only one I was conversing with? I thought I was conversing with two women. Okay, no. Um, all right. Nobody's here. I'm just gonna hang on because then they okay. Because I want to get your questions. I want to know what I mean. I have a list of questions here that are from you as you came into the group. You asked a question. No, I asked you a question and you answered it. And so I do base, I do use those as well. However, I like doing live um, questions. Okay. Let me see if it shows me anything here. Comments. Let's go to comments. Okay, I'm waiting for questions, or I'll just start using the ones that I have. But I would rather you jump on and tell me what question do you want answered, or what question that you need answered. All right, so I'll just leave my phone there. All right, so here we go. Let's do this because we're already 3 minutes in. I want to bore you guys to death. So if you don't know me, my name is Denise Kavaliauskas. I am the founder of Inspired by Denise Coaching, and it is coaching based off of my story of being in a 22-year toxic relationship, emotional, psychological, financial, sometimes physical, abusive marriage. Left that after 22 years, moved 3 states away, and came here to North Carolina, where I now reside. But before I created this amazing life that I have now, I uh, my ex had done the hoovering and the love bombing. I didn't know what any of that was at the time. And that was 2000. So I left in 2011. He started back after I was here for 3 months. So my daughter and I went back to Florida for 3 months. No, excuse me. We were here for 3 months. We went back for 8 months. And I basically had to do it all over again. So I manifested $10,000 to leave the first time with no job. I left with just a futon couch and an air mattress. And so that was the first time I came here to North Carolina. So then when I had realized what a huge mistake that I had made, it's not a mistake now, but at the time it felt like a mistake. I had to do it all over again. So anyway, that's the short version of a very long story. So now, now I'm able and I'm here to help you create the life that you desire. I often say, find true love after toxic love. That's what I've done after being in that relationship for 22 years and now marrying the man of my dreams, my soulmate, and having this amazing life now here in North Carolina. I had to release the toxic family members in my life, the toxic people around me. It wasn't just my ex, right? There was a lot more toxicity around me that I had to release to create this life. My life used to be 100% drama and chaos and trauma. Like every day it was something. It was some kind of drama that I was involved in, or it was some kind of chaos that I either unintentionally created or found myself in, or traumas. The biggest trauma was 2008 when my then husband had attempted suicide with our 14-year-old daughter in the next room. Up until that time, that was the biggest trauma that I had ever experienced. It was devastating to all of us. As a mom to a 14 and a 13-year-old, I was heartbroken for my children. I was devastated for my kids. How are they going to recover from this? Their dad did live. He's still alive today. But the whole line of events that had happened were in that moment overwhelming, devastating. My world had come crashing down, and it was the first time I was how old was I? I was 38, and it was the first time in my life that I felt lost. I never felt lost like that before in my life. I remember driving. I don't remember where I was driving to, probably to the hospital or to go pick him up, because that's what happened after several months. I remember looking out the window and just coming to the realization, like, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to turn to. I'm literally like, I don't know what to do. My whole world came crumbling down. So not only was it, that it was my husband at the time that had done this, the father of my children, and I was so sad and heartbroken for my children, but it was also the financial piece to it. So I was very financial dependent on my then husband, and there was no money coming in because he had shot himself. So I share all of that with you to give you like a little backdrop of what I've been through, how I've come out of it, and now on the other side of that, and able to be here to help you and show you step by step of how you can, if you're still in the relationship, how you can safely, and when I say safely, I mean in all aspects, safely get out of the relationship and thrive after that. If you've been out of the relationship and you're dating and you keep attracting the same version of your ex, I am here to show you and help you how to stop that pattern, stop that toxic cycle, and to create a life that you want. So ultimately, no matter where you are in life, I can help you create your dream life like I have. See that picture behind me? That was last year. Actually, we're coming up on a year. I'm just trying to see if anybody is coming in. That I married my soulmate, my honey, on a North Carolina beach with 100 guests. Also, I love to share with you, help you and teach you how to manifest. So like I said, I manifested $10,000 when I was leaving, but most recently, because we're manifesting all the time. Like you're manifesting all the time, whether you know it or not. It's just, are you manifesting? Like before, in my life, what I was just sharing with you, I was manifesting the traumas and the dramas and the chaos, right? I was manifesting that. I was bringing that into my life. So we're manifesting all the time. It just depends on what are we manifesting. So for my wedding, I literally had my dream wedding. Everything that I wanted came true for my dream wedding. So not only was it on the North Carolina beach, it was the exact colors. It was, I mean, just everything. It was just so perfect. The food was perfect. Everything planning in the pandemic was perfect. Nothing went wrong. No trauma. No drama. No drama happened. No cattiness, none of that, because I've released all of that out of my life. So people came from California, Colorado, Texas, Florida, right? Came from all over to be on the beach for our wedding day, which was exciting in the middle of a pandemic. So anyway, I share all of that with you to show you like what is available to you, what is waiting for you. Maybe you don't want to get married. That's fine. Maybe you just want to release all of the toxicity out of your life. That's waiting for you too. Maybe you do want to get married. Maybe it's in the back of your head. Maybe you're like, you know what? Someday I do want to have my best friend, but right now I just need to get rid of the crap. Maybe you're dating and you're looking for love, but you keep attracting these men that are similar to your ex, and you're like, and maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't know what I want because I've never had it, but I know what I don't want. I don't want that. I don't want what I've had in the past, and I don't want what I keep attracting. I know I don't want the ex, and I don't want to repeat the past. So no matter where you're at, there is 100% availability to you to have your dream life. It's just a matter of you saying yes to it. Literally saying yes to it. All right. So there's 12 minutes of my rant. Okay. So I'm going to use my questions because I don't see on my phone, I have it right here. I don't see anybody asking questions. Now remember, we do this weekly. This is every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can DM me your question. You can put your question in the Facebook and tag me. You can do it right now. You can put it in the comments right now and let me know what your question is. There's several ways that you can get your question to me, something that you need to know. I'm going to use that thread that was in another group. I'm going to use that for next week. That was really good. Somebody asked a really good question in another group that I'm in. Okay, yeah, I'm going to use that for next week. Okay. All right. Is a toxic person the same as a narcissistic person? Yes. There's the short answer. Yes. A toxic person is narcissistic. But a toxic person can also be a sociopath, a psychopath, right? And there's many different levels of narcissism. And this question is really good, but the thing that I want to share with you, and the thing that I want to share with you, is that as long as you know that that person is toxic, that's all you need to know. You don't need to know what category they fall into. All that you know is that they're toxic. That's good. Just, you know to stay away from them. You know to not form any type of a relationship with them, which is really good for you, right? Okay. So next question is, how can they say they love you, but they treat you the way that they do? All right, this is a common question that I get. It's really good because that's where the confusion comes in, right? All right, I just keep checking to see if that person wants to come into the group. Okay, how can they say that they love you, but they treat you the way that they do? Because what they say and what they do are two different things. Okay, narcissistic people, first of all, sit down, because I'm about to tell you something that, depending on where you're at in your relationship, could be very hurtful. And it was a hard pill for me to swallow when I first learned this, but you need to know it. I want you to know it because it's going to help you move on. So this may sting at first, but then I promise you that it's going to be information that is going to help you. Narcissistic people are incapable of love. So you know the term actions speak louder than words? That is 100% true. Because we can sit here and say whatever we want all day long. I'm a billionaire, right? I love strudel. Do I? You see what I mean? Narcissistic people, they lack empathy and compassion for others. So how can you love somebody when, well, here's an easier way for me to explain it to you. Narcissistic people loathe themselves. Okay, so it's beyond I don't like myself. It's beyond I don't love myself. It's I loathe myself. Okay, so if you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? You can't. You first have to love yourself in order for you to love others. So that's why narcissistic people, they don't know how to love. They don't want to know how to love. They're too absorbed and consumed with their own hurts and pains and wounds that they don't even want to face because they don't even want to say, I have a problem or I need help. It's a very, tangled web that they weave. But how can they say I love you but treat you the way they do? Because, my love, they don't love you. And I know that might be very hurtful for you right now. I know when I first learned that it was. So my ex did the same thing. He told me he loved me. He told me he wanted us to work it out. But then he went and did the opposite thing. And that's where the confusion, that's the gaslighting, that's the confusion, right? That's the love bombing. When they say one thing and then they do another. And then when you cry and say, I thought we were going to work it out, or you told me this, right? And then they change and say, depending on how that goes, because that could go a million different ways. But if they say, no, I love you, I love you. Well, actions speak louder than words. So don't go by a person's words, go by their actions. How does somebody treat you? How does somebody treat you? Because that's going to tell you everything. Now, if they treat you really well and they say, I love you, there's your match. And for somebody to ask this question, how can they say they love you, but they treat you the way that they do? There's a conflict there, right? So love is a match. Love is, it goes together. There's no question about love. There's no question. You know this person loves you. You feel that this person loves you. Not I feel that they love me sometimes. Not I think he loves me, or yeah, today he loves me, but yesterday he was a rat bastard. Mm-mm. It's all the time. It's all the time you feel loved by this person. Because you know how you love. Look at your own example of how you love, right? Are you consistent in your love? In your actions, right? And I don't mean like if you're triggered by somebody and then your actions change. I'm saying like push all that aside, right? So narcissistic people are incapable of loving because they have to love themselves first in order to love others. They lack empathy and they lack compassion. This is a great tool and tip for you to use if you're in the dating world, for you to look for that compassion and empathy for others. That's going to show you if, you know, if they have it or not, right? For others, not themselves, not, oh, poor me, look at me. Oh, you wouldn't believe the sad story that I have. Not that. For others, for, you know, and once you like go through the healing stages of completely healing yourself from narcissistic abuse in relationships, you'll you'll know all this, right? You'll know, you know, trust yourself that you know. Okay, next question is, how can he take everything from me, then leave me with nothing? How can he take everything from me and then leave me with nothing? This is a deep one. And the short answer is, again, I'm going to say something that may sting, and I'm sorry. But the reason why is because he doesn't care. They don't care. As much as long as you've been married, as many kids as you have, as many adventures, vacations, houses, investments, businesses that you've shared together, as entangled as you are in his family, as much as his family loves you or his kids love you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. They only think of themselves. And when you go to leave them, or they are leaving you, whoever decides to break it off, they are out for revenge. They want revenge. They want revenge on you, and they want to make you miserable. They want you to pay. They want you to pay. So that's how he can take everything and leave you with nothing. Because he wants to see you in pain. He wants you hurt. That's part of the narcissistic supply. They get something from that. They get something from seeing you in pain. I know it's twisted. I realize that. Well, this is why we call them toxic people, right? This is why we call it narcissistic abuse. This is abuse. He wants to see you in pain. That's a supply. It gives him a feeling of power, of authority, a control, right? That's why. That was a heavy one. Let's breathe through that one. Anytime you have something heavy, you feel something heavy, you've left a heavy conversation, you can just stop and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just sit in silence for a second, just to kind of let all of that go away. Send that energy love and push it out. Okay? Okay. Last question, because we do these for, I mean, I plan on 30 minutes, but if you guys pop on and you ask questions, then we may go longer, which is great. Okay, this question is, wisdom to overcome the financial, social, economic, and emotional fallout from a very toxic and costly second divorce. You know, I networked with divorce attorneys. I tried and tried and tried to get attorneys to let me help. And I did a little bit. Some of them were a little, one of them was a little open, um, to let me help their clients, because part of a divorce, especially divorcing a narcissistic person, you have to have some emotional support, professional emotional support. I think one of the reasons why um, they weren't so open to me is I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor. I'm a coach. I'm a certified coach, but maybe in the legal world, it's not recognized. So I always say that you need emotional support going through this. The other thing that I would say to anyone who is divorcing a narcissistic person is to, you have to shift your energy. And maybe that was abrasive. You have to, but I say that with love, and I say that with sincerity. That's what you have to do. You have to shift your energy. Here's the thing, ladies. You're dealing with somebody who thrives off of being manipulative and controlling in the marriage, in the relationship. That's not going to change when you get the divorce. It's only going to increase with the divorce. I've seen it and heard it a million times. And what happens is they know how to push your buttons, and they're going to do that. So when you go to leave, divorce, break up with a narcissist, you have to be prepared emotionally. You have to shift your energy. If you don't, they're going to do what they do. They're going to do what they do, even more so. So the wisdom to overcome the financial, social, economical, and emotional fallout from a very toxic and costly second divorce. The first thing that I wanted to say to you, my love, is now you have 2 divorces. And this is something that you really want to take a look at, right? Why do you keep attracting these types of men that treat you the way that they do? Okay? This is something you really want to look at within yourself. And the other thing that I want to say is, when you're done with this, please, 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 or now, I mean, whenever you're ready. I always say whenever you're ready to reach out to get that emotional support. Okay? To help you navigate through this so that you win at the game. You win at the game. I've helped many women going through divorce, preparing them to get the divorce, and all aspects of this. And when they came to me with the support and getting the support that they needed, they won at the game. They won in the divorce. They got more than they asked for. And they, had somebody to help them and guide them through this. It's a tricky, tricky type of divorce. And if you don't have your emotions in alignment and in control, then their manipulation and control is going to be 10 times worse, 100 times worse. I've seen women who've gone into the courtroom, and based on, because like I said, he knows how to push your buttons. So what happens is he tells his attorney, his attorney tells the judge, she's unstable, she's done this, she's done that, she's a drinker, blah, 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 blah. And then gives the attorney the information to push your buttons, to say the things, do the things, and know the things that are going to hurt you. What happens when you're hurt over and over and over again? You explode. Anger, right? So what happens is that They interpret that to the attorney does to the judge, and then they know how to push your buttons, the attorney does, and then what happens is you boil up. Your emotions boil up. Right? And you explode. I've seen women explode in court, not seen personally, but have had clients and heard stories that they explode in court. They explode in court. And then guess what? Guess what the narcissist does? I told you. With their smug, arrogant, narcissistic look. Cool, calm, and collective. I told you. I told you she was this way. I told you she'd act that way. And then you look like the crazy one because now everything that he said about you has been validated. Because of what? Why? Because of your emotions. So going through that, you have to have the support. That's why I said you have to have it. It's so essential. You know, I'm not saying forget about the attorney and forget about all the things that come with the divorce. First of all, listen, a divorce is a sham. I said it. It's a sham. It's a sham. It's a sham. You don't have to do all of that. Hold on, my hair. You don't have to do all of that. Especially with a narcissistic person. When I left with nothing. Because guess what? I didn't want anything. Now I understand if you have young kids, if you have like whatever, I get that. I get that. But the thing is that the more you release and you let go and you're not attached to the outcome, the more that you win. You'd be so surprised of how much you win. I walked away with everything, with nothing. I left everything in Florida. And guess what? I felt free. I can breathe. I felt like I was just let out of prison. I felt like I can do anything now. And I did. And I did. I had no attachment. I don't want the business that I helped build in Florida. I don't want the money. I don't want blah, blah, blah. I don't want it. Keep it. What am I going to do with it? Right? Sentimental things? Okay, sentimental things, that's a different story. So what I did was, and what I advise everybody to do is, listen, you're dealing with a sneaky, conniving person. I'm sorry, but when it comes to divorcing, you're going to have to be sneaky and conniving as well for you to get what you want. I know those words can be a little harsh, but this is the truth. For the emotional stuff that you want, right? The sentimental stuff that you want, pictures, certain whatever, take it. Take it before you even say you want a divorce. Take it. You have to be sneaky and conniving. I'm sorry, those words sound bad, but you have to do it. So what I did was I took all of my pictures of my children, all of the things that I wanted to take that were sentimental to me, right? Christmas ornaments, you know, special Christmas ornaments or whatever it was. And I took them and I put them in storage or I put them away somewhere so that I would have them in a safekeeping. So when I was going to leave him, because that's what they do. They know that you love whatever. They know you love that frame or that picture. They know you want stuff with the kids. I had one client who wanted this picture. I forget what the sentimental value was to her personally, the picture. It was in the garage collecting dust. And she said to her then divorcing husband, what are you going to do with this? Right? And he was like, I don't know. I don't know. And she said, well, I would really like it. I would really like it. It, you know, it means a lot to me, or I'd like it. And he goes, oh, well, I'm keeping it. And I told her that if you just would have said, meh, I don't care about it. What do you like? I'll throw it out if you don't want it. Have zero attachment to it, right? Put on a poker face. Well, I don't want it. Then they don't care, because they only care about the things that you care about because they want to hurt you. That's the only reason that they want these things, including the children. That's a really awful thing, but it's true. They use your children as pawns. They use your children as pawns. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the children. They don't want custody of the children because they love the children. They want custody of the children because they know they're taking it away from you. They're taking the kids away from you. That's the only reason why. It's sad. It's terrible. How can somebody be so soulless? How could somebody be so mean and evil? I know, I get it. Believe me, I get it. But this is the truth. And this is the truth that you need to know to empower yourself, to fuel yourself with the knowledge and the education so that you win at this game. Because guess what? Leaving this relationship is a game. It's a game that you have to learn how to play better than them. My life is mind-blowing compared to the way it was before. And I was in it for 22 years. 22 years entangled in it. I was so controlled by my ex. So dependent. So dependent. I'm still unraveling stuff after all of this time. Still. But my life is completely different. It's completely different. And you can have that too. Anything that you desire, you can have. I used to cry myself to sleep every night. I used to think to myself as I was falling asleep, oh, and I was depressed and had anxiety, of course. But I remember thinking to myself, like, is this it? Is this my life? Like, really? Is this how it is? Cleaning up one mess after another, putting out one fire after another, making excuses for him, lying for him, being embarrassed by him. Oh God, I could go on and on. Stories I have. Okay. So here we are, 37 minutes. I hope this was helpful for you. We covered 1, 2, 3 questions. We covered 3 questions today, and I will put those questions in the comments below so that you know what we covered. And as always, I always have a lot of stuff going on. So if you are ready to have, deeper support, more support, you let me know. But what I have going on right now is I am opening up only two more seats to my Empowered the Woman Within 12-week program that I am closing the doors on. This is the last time that I am running this 12-week program. I'm moving on. I'm putting it in a vault. It will only be available on a do-it-yourself, but this is the last time that I am going to show it live or, coach it live. There's 2 more seats if you want to get into it. I'll leave the link below. It's $9.99 if you want to pay in full. If you pay in full, you get a bonus package. If you want to finance it, you can do 3 payments of $367 or something like that. So there's that. If you want the live coaching in a group coaching setting, it comes with a workbook. It has all of the tools that that we do after the calls that you have forever, that you get it in a PDF, and it's yours forever, right? You get to mix and mingle with other women who are going through or were going through the same thing as you, and just that support and just having that soft place to land it's mind-blowing, and it's growth. The other thing that I have going on is I am putting together a big event. It's an online event. It's called How to Heal Your Heart, Bounce Back, Be Happy, and Find True Love. And that is going to launch on June 1st. Okay, so I will be talking to you guys more about that event that I'm doing. It's a series of talks that I have with experts. So they're dating coaches, they're love coaches. I mean, I have a huge, wonderful, fantastic lineup of these experts to share with you. And then more recently coming up is I'm going to do a masterclass next week. Okay, that's free for you. The big event is free. The group coaching is the only thing that you would pay for. So the next week, it's going to be 3 keys to having true love after toxic love. So I think I set it for Thursday. I don't know. I'll put the link here underneath here for you. All you have to do is put your name and your email address, and then you'll get the information for that event or that masterclass, excuse me. So that's going to be, I think, the 19th. Pretty sure I set it for the 19th. And I'll be talking more about that for you too. All right, my loves. As always, reach out to me if you need anything. Have an amazing week. A nice weekend. If you're in North Carolina or South Carolina or any of the southern states, don't panic about the gas. It's okay. Everything's okay. I promise you it's okay. Gosh, what an awesome 2021 we're having. Okay. All right. I'll see you later.